Hey NewsNickelers, Monticello here. It's Tuesday, December 12th, 2023, bringing you 5 news stories to help you make sense of the world, of course. And just a quick note, I am out tomorrow, so I'm not sure I'll be able to make a new episode, but you are still allowed to follow the news. Just wanted to put that out there. First up, President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, meeting with the congressional leaders. Actually, he just met with them, and he'll meet with President Biden later to ask for more aid in his war effort against Russia. And it was just reported that, as we predicted, Republicans in Congress have said that they will tie aid to changes in border policy. In other words, the Republicans will not agree to authorize any more money for Ukraine unless the Democrats agree to change their policies relating to immigration. So we'll see if any kind of deal gets made. And we're keeping an eye on this closely because of the dire situation in Ukraine. Next, sticking with this, there was a massive cyber attack in Kyiv in Ukraine earlier, knocked out mobile communications across the city. The assumption is, of course, that Russia perpetrated this, but we don't know for sure. So hopefully that problem will be resolved quickly. Next, back to American politics, Donald Trump. His lawyers are arguing that basically he should be immune from criminal prosecution for anything he is alleged to have done while president. And so the lawyers that are trying to put him in jail have made an argument for the Supreme Court to hear, basically saying, no, he should not be immune from prosecution for things that he did while president. And so the Supreme Court is going to have to resolve this. We've never really been in this territory before. You could say we were kind of in it with Nixon and some of the things that he did, but this is really new ground. And so the Supreme Court is really going to have to think about, presidential immunity, if that's a thing. It's also a little interesting because Trump was impeached for certain conduct, but then he was acquitted. He was found not guilty in the Senate. And so does that have any bearing on whether or not he's immune from criminal prosecution? All these questions for the Supreme Court to settle. Next up, the inflation rate holding steady, which I suppose is good news. This is really important, not just because people like to buy things, but also because it drives what the Federal Reserve decides to do. The Federal Reserve is that part of the government that can raise or lower interest rates, which makes it less expensive or more expensive to borrow money. So when people buy things like cars or houses or other big ticket items, the interest rate plays a huge role in their decisions. So we'll see what the Federal Reserve decides to do. And last up today, Hasbro, the toy making company, they cut a bunch of jobs. People are just not buying as many toys as they used to. This also is kind of a deeper question. What are children playing with? What are they doing in their spare time? How will this affect the future? And I'm reminded of my favorite toy when I was a kid, which is definitely the whoopee cushion, because toilet humor is timeless. All right, put today's news nickel in your knowledge bank. You'll be good to go, and I'll see you later.